It's all over. So there are people all over the world that are talking about entrepreneurship. They're having events. They're doing things live. There's stuff. I live an hour north of Pittsburgh. There's stuff happening in Pittsburgh, and there's just things everywhere. Um, so I thought we could spend some time looking at that, and we'll go explore their website for a little bit. And yeah, so we're gonna do that. Share that one. Ooh, that's fun. Okay, so we have see what we have going on. If you're watching this on the replay, please excuse my my trying to figure this out. Okay. Managing all the things at once is a little crazy. Okay. We got this. All right. So, looking at Global Entrepreneurship Week, I'm going to throw the link in the comments just so we know where we are. So, if you happen to want to go look at the site yourself, feel free to do that. So, this, like I said, is all over the world. People are celebrating entrepreneurs, which I think is pretty awesome. And that's I've checked out the website before, so I'm not going to do like a full-blown walkthrough. But what I think is really neat is that you have the opportunity to actually send in your event. So this event is actually listed on the event page, which is amazing. So I thought maybe we could go through and look and see what's happening on the East Coast-ish, because that's where I'm at, and see what is happening. You can see all the different countries. So these are all, I don't know how many they listed, 150, 35, I can't remember. Anyways, you can look on the website and watch this replay and see how many there are, but you can see there's a ton. Somewhere in here, there we are, the US, and let it load. So each area region has a managing director, which is awesome, and then a host. And you can see that there's 555 events. That's just in the US. And I wanted to see if I could find our event, because that makes me excited. There's a cool heat map or map showing all the things. And let's see what else we got. Woo! Oh, I forgot it'll scroll and do things. Oh, but that's cool. So they show us the whole world, which is awesome. And I was just trying to get my map to do what I want it to do. Anyways, won't fuss with that too much. So you can see these are all the different things. Looks like they're in order by state-ish, probably by day and then state, maybe. I don't know what they're sorted by. Doesn't make any sense. Anyways, I'm not gonna fuss about that either. So, but look, there's all these pages. So 555 different events. You can type in and see where they are. I'm just gonna put in, see what else is virtual. So you can see these are the ones that are virtual that are happening. And what have we got? Here we are. Here's ours. I think. Pretty sure that's ours. Let's go look. So our event. Yep, this is us. All right. So look, we're live on the website. Yay! So this means anyone coming and looking for an event, you'll be able to find us, which is awesome. Yeah. Sorry, this is cool. I haven't gotten to see this part yet. Okay. So going back. Let's see what's happening in New York City. Oh, but that's not virtual. that would help. Apparently none. Apparently I don't know how to type. Nothing in New York. Oh, there we are. All right. We have an Ask the Entrepreneur and a Panther Tank thing, which is awesome. A crash course in entrepreneurship and pitching. So for New York, that is really good. And then we have Diversity and Inclusion Research Conference, which is awesome. That looks like that happened earlier this month, but it was part of this global entrepreneurship roundup endeavor. So very cool. So if you're in New York, that's what's happening. Looks like a lot of it's all in Manhattan, so that's where to go. 19th. Those are tomorrow, and then this one's on, what day is that? Thursday. Okay, so that's what's happening in New York. If you're excited about being in New York, so I wanted to look at Pittsburgh and see what's happening in Pittsburgh. See what we got. We have a startup job fair that's listed. Something from Pittsburgh Good Neighbors. Cool. Wins Steel City startups at Pitt and CMU, which will be awesome. And student shadows with Pittsburgh startups. I know, I remember reading about that. That happened already. That was on Friday. So yeah, some stuff in Pittsburgh. I did not mean to zoom in on the map. Let's see what else we got going on. Let's talk a little bit about the themes since we're here. We do have these listed on the main info. So that is the link for the Entrepreneur Hotline, and you can actually just type in that should take you straight to it as well. Excuse me. So that'll just take you straight through to it. Yeah. So it shows our whole schedule, and all the different speakers and the different things we have going on, as well as an opportunity to register, which registering means you get reminders, which is awesome, and a daily digest, of the schedule for your time period, and exclusive access to speaker stuff. So any freebies or giveaways that they do, you'll have to be registered in order to get access to that. There's also going to be replays and curated things that come later. So I highly encourage you to register. It's totally free to register. And it just means that you want more information. So, all right, back to themes. So there are 4 official themes. And I guess I can read this out loud, because I'm live on video. So it says the 2019 global themes. This year, Global Entrepreneurship Week is celebrating 4 distinct themes: education, ecosystems, inclusion, and policy. During GEW, I love that it's GEW. I love acronyms. It's awesome. I love when we shorten things. Later, I'll tell you about my own shortened things I've made. Sorry, I'll get back to reading. During GEW, we will highlight powerful voices, ambassadors, and partner organizations that promote, encourage, and support the development of entrepreneurs within each of the 4 spaces. So the first one, education. Education can inform and expose people of all ages to entrepreneurship. Communities can mobilize. I think this is good. Communities can mobilize entrepreneurship education through many different vehicles, from early childhood learning centers to colleges and universities, vocation institutions, makerspaces, and more. Providing the right information and tools to those with an interest in entrepreneurship can foster creativity and skills to grow sustainable businesses, improving not only local entrepreneurial ecosystems, but also strengthening the skilled job force. Sorry, I was reading something, a notification I got from Periscope. They didn't like this particular comment. Anyhow, probably because there was a hashtag in it. So anyhow, so the education theme, that happens to be today. So within our hotline this week, each day that we are going live and talking about things, it's going to cover parts of each of these themes. I just thought it would be, it's good to know that there are these global themes happening. So in many places, education things will be happening today, ecosystems tomorrow, and those sorts of things. But we are going to be all over the map during the week, because as entrepreneurs, that's what happens to some degree, and getting people to making schedules work and getting speakers available. It means we aren't, always on the same day as everything else. So keeping that in mind, for these educational themes and ideas, if you're thinking about this today and you're like, oh my gosh, we could do something on Friday, just do it. You can submit it to the website. It's free to submit, and be an official GEW event. Not a big deal. So that's education. Which I think the education part is like, it's broad. I like the fact that it's this broad idea. So tools with entrepreneurship, for me, that's any of the things we use online, how we connect with people. It's also understanding the systems that are available, and not just in the ecosystems, but systems I use on a daily basis that make entrepreneurship something that I can do with 3 children and all the other things. And for me, that's part of the education aspect too, which is what a lot of my time with you is going to be spent on, is different things I do to make entrepreneurship work for me. Excuse me. So our next theme is ecosystems, and I will put that here because I can. And maybe if I don't, maybe Periscope won't yell at me. Excuse me. Okay, yeah, must have been the hashtag. So ecosystems. The Global Entrepreneurship Network and other entrepreneurship support organizations around the world are looking beyond Silicon Valley to facilitate collaboration and partnership between startup ecosystems in promising mid-tier cities. Sharing knowledge and connecting local ecosystem leaders has become increasingly important in building healthy and thriving entrepreneurial communities. GEW Ecosystems aims to inspire communities to collaborate and share their networks and markets to help their rising startups thrive. This theme celebrates the shared challenges and triumphs of entrepreneurship communities and hubs around the world. So I love the ecosystem theme. I'm so excited. I have one of my really good friends coming tomorrow to talk about ecosystems, and she's incredible with building ecosystems that just make entrepreneurship a dream, in my opinion. So ecosystems is the networks we build around us and for us, and knowing that we're not alone in all of this, and understanding that there are people out there like me, like Lori, like Colin, that are building incredible things. And even if it feels like we are on our own, we're not. And that there's other people doing this, they're on the same road we are. So finding each other, the GEN and GEW, the Global Entrepreneurship Week, is an incredible way to find each other. You can use the hashtag on Twitter. There's massive ecosystems on Twitter. As a writer, I love the communities that are on Twitter. They're just entirely too much fun, in my opinion. So we have a good time over there. So if you're working on, it doesn't matter what you're working on. Most likely there's a community out there. You just haven't found it yet. So that is what we're here for. So if you're watching this on the replay, or I can't see that you're watching this, feel free to drop in the comments what you're working on, and I will help you find a community that fits with who you want to hang out with. Okay? So, next theme is inclusion, which we're going to drop that in here, put it in a comment. We get singing and all these other things. Okay. So, I wonder what happens. Okay. Anyways. So, inclusion. Entrepreneurship is a positive force that drives innovation, creates wealth, and improves lives in communities, cities, and countries alike. But not everyone has the same opportunity. Race, age, gender, or where one lives should not be an obstacle to entrepreneurship. Anyone, anywhere, should be able to realize their dream and start a business quickly, inexpensively, and without barriers. GEW Inclusion will highlight the work startup champions. Wait, hang on, let me rephrase. I used the wrong inflection. GEW Inclusion will highlight the work startup champions are doing around the world to minimize barriers and obstacles for entrepreneurs by maximizing inclusion. This theme celebrates diversity in all forms, including women and youth in entrepreneurship. Activities, workshops, and speakers series held around the world will explore the obstacles entrepreneurs from underserved populations may face and discovering solutions through access to success stories, training, capital, and mentorship. So I'm really glad I read this. I'm really glad I actually read the text for inclusion, because I had a different. I would not have included myself in here because I'm, quite clearly a white female, and while I have my own privilege, there are some things that I have found difficult with creating or being able to do things as an entrepreneur. And yeah, so if you're just joining me, I'm going through the Global Entrepreneurship Week themes. Feel free to chime in and ask any questions you have. So I was just talking about inclusion and what that means in the framework of Global Entrepreneurship Week, which it's just really, really cool. So I hope there are lots of events happening around the world and helping everyone realize their dream as an entrepreneur if that's something they want to do. So policy. What's really great about these live streams is I've been talking to myself for the better part of, 2 years on the Legacy Recorder. So talking to myself is not that big of a deal. All right, policy. Policy in this framework is startup ecosystems are led by their entrepreneurs, but government plays an important role in helping them flourish, removing barriers, resetting the regulatory environment, and emphasizing connections and catalytic events. A new generation of public sector officials and startup-savvy advisors are hacking policy solutions to help local entrepreneurs start and scale. GEW policy will highlight the work of governments and policymakers to help entrepreneurs everywhere start and scale. This is really cool, you guys. And that's really important because there's starting a new business and starting as an entrepreneur. There's a lot of red tape in different places. So there's different rules between different states. So having a business in Arizona, if you're in the US, is completely different than if you have a business in Pennsylvania or New York or California. And I think it's getting more complicated all the time. And I'm sure that it is complicated in other parts of the world as well. Obviously, I don't own businesses in other parts of the world because I am US based. But if you happen to be in another part of the world, I would love to hear your experience as to what that's been like for you getting set up and being able to know that you're set up in the right way. I'm pretty sure I'm not because there's just a lot of pieces. And it's not that I don't want to do things the right way. And, I pay my taxes. So we're just going to put that out right there. I pay my taxes. So I figure as long as I'm doing that, then, I'll get the other pieces figured out. But it is definitely not easy. It's not easy. And there's not like there's a little checklist somewhere that says, here, you need to do this, and here, you need to do this, and you need to do this. Because it's so, at least in the US and where I am, it's so bureaucratic. There's like 4 checklists in 5 different places for 6 different entities, and no one can agree on what you're supposed to do in which order or when, or timeline. And when you go to look for the information, which I have gone to look for the information, it's not always clear. And then you're not sure who you're supposed to talk to figure it out. And when, it really, you feel like it ought to be a little easier than it is, but that's okay. I feel like that is a live stream for another day. So education, let's go back to that, since that is what today is. This is part of, for me, this is a tool. This is part of education. This is something that you can use to get connected with communities in your area. There are these really great toolkits and materials. If you're interested in hosting your own event, it'll tell you what it's all about. And what's going on. So go back to the front, because I was just curious about the 170 partners, 35,000 events, which is crazy town. That's like a lot. Obviously a lot. So that is the Global Entrepreneurship Week website, which is awesome. And then there's the Global Entrepreneurship Network. So this pulls back even farther, and this is everything. So what we were looking at was just one specific event, and this is the main website. I will throw that in the comments just so it's there.